Hello and welcome back to.
Okay, stop whining.
So we are back and better than ever, but like not actually.
Like, finally.
Okay, so it has been a few months. We are aware, and we hear you, we see you, we feel you when you say that you want new episodes. And we're just like here to serve our people.
Yes, we are definitely here to serve the people.
So obviously, if you follow along with my like personal Instagram and TikTok and journey, I started a podcast with some friends. But that didn't mean that I was stopping Okay Stop Whining, but it was a lot at first and I needed to kind of get settled in like that territory. But Okay Stop Whining is not going anywhere. We're very much still whining and complaining.
And constantly whining and complaining.
Yeah. But Pamela, since you've been off the line, well, not really. You keep up, but how are you doing? How's your summer? How's life?
Oh my God, it's been so long that I have to like back up so far. So I'm just gonna
You don't have
give
to
you a
back up too
brief.
far. Give us some up. Give us some
It's
up.
going to be very brief. So whatever.
Yeah.
I had an amazing summer. I spent a lot of time with family and friends and went to the beach a couple times. Ended
The
up
first time I was with you, the second time I wasn't.
the first time, right. The second time, which we do like a big family beach trip. Carly missed that one. That's like extended family. My sister, my brother, parents, everybody. So Carly missed that, which was a little bit of a bummer. But Carly was busy traveling the world. So, what are you going to choose? Beach trip with family or traveling the world? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love my family, but I definitely proudly chose traveling the world.
Yeah. No, and you had a great time.
Yeah.
And then just ended off the summer taking Chloe back to college, and she's thriving and doing really well. She loves it. And then my husband and I actually took another trip. We went on a trip with another couple to a beautiful golf community where my husband's cousin owns a home. It was gorgeous.
Can you give some tea on the trip? Give the trip rundown. This is a good topic.
Well, he owns a lot of homes, but this is one of his homes that he owns, and it's in New York called Silo Ridge. Really, really beautiful, very exclusive. Like, not just anybody can go in there. You need to live there and be a member of their
Club community.
Club and community. And it was absolutely gorgeous, breathtaking views. Golf course is gorgeous. They have a beautiful pool. Great food. Actually sat at dinner with somebody famous. I guess I won't say her name.
Why? You could say it. Who cares?
I say her name?
Yeah, who cares?
I didn't notice that she was there, but until my husband pointed. I looked and I thought, this girl looked like somebody I knew, but I couldn't pinpoint it because, I'm in like a golf course community in New York. And then my husband says, he's tapping all of us. He's like, by the way, Anne Hathaway's sitting right behind you. So... And then he's texting all of us because we were with another couple, like, don't say anything, don't turn around. Of course, my husband's friend, like the guy, he's like trying to turn around.
Oh my God.
But, and the only thing I heard her say was, can you tell me where the bathroom is? she asked the hostess. It's the only thing I heard her say, but she was with another couple. Anyway, so that was kind of cool.
It was star-studded. It was star-studded.
Yeah, a little bit star-studded. So it was just really, really fun and a very unique place. And beautiful.
Like not your typical weekend getaway vacation.
No,
also, can you tell them about like when you were like on the golf course and you could like stop in those like little cabin rooms?
Oh yeah, there's like these little like, I don't know how to explain them. It almost looks like a store, and it looks like an old
like a general store kind
like
of
a general store, and you go inside and you can take whatever. There's food in there. There was wraps. And there was chili, and there's Casamigos. You can get any like a drink that you want, and everything just is there for you to take. There was candy, there was drinks, like regular drinks.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much food, and of course the guac was like the best guac I ever had, and I was eating guac and chips like every day. So my girlfriend and I don't play golf, but we played pickleball, and then we would take walks. And we were just walking around the golf course and going to the 12th hole to go have a really good meal. And you're sitting up, like it's perched up on top of the hill. And it was so beautiful eating out there. It was really pretty and really cool. So
that's like, now I want to go see it. Like that looks so sick.
no, it was really fun.
So that was a good experience for you.
Yeah, that was fun. And then it was back to my regular business. And I'm just subbing in the preschool this year. So
we love that.
I was there 3 days last week. So I'm just there now when they need me of my choice.
Yeah.
I decided to kind of just spend more time with my husband and with my family.
Yeah, we love that.
Parents. I want to be able to visit my parents more this year. So I just took a
little hiatus.
Yes.
But I feel like for me too, that's been like a priority. Like I feel like this summer I was just away so much that I was like, any chance I get now, I just like want to go home and I like want to see the grandparents and see my cousins. And I felt like a really big shift just with like friendships and stuff. Like I feel like I just am like, my priorities have changed a little bit. Like, I just feel like the summer was very like, I was just doing events constantly and I was traveling. And I just realized like, okay, like you don't get like, it's like kind of sad, but like you don't like get to see your friends all that much and your family all that much, like when you're just like running around and everyone has their own lives. So it's just been nice to like be like with my close friends and with you guys and like spend more quality time.
Right. And you were just here for the Jewish holidays, which was really nice. And then you'll be back. I'm actually going home this weekend. I have my 35-year high school reunion.
You're so old.
I feel so old. Oh, my God. So I'm really excited because 2 of my really close friends from high school are coming in. And, of course, I have other friends that'll be there and my other friend that lives in Scarsdale. So I'm so excited to be with my old group.
I'm hyped for you. And I love that you have
my parents, too.
Yeah, but I love that you have such a bond with your high school friends still because it's like the coolest thing. Like I don't know, like I don't know if that's unique or what, but like you've always had like a crazy like sisterly connection with your high school people.
Mm-hmm.
And how like do you maintain that after like so many years?
You just have to make an effort, constantly keep in touch and try to visit each other when you can. Sometimes there's years where you don't see each other, but yet you know, you just come together by text. Something happens and I'll like send a text that, you know, something reminds me of a certain somebody.
Yeah.
So you really just have to make an effort. If you don't make an effort, and it goes both ways. So if none of the friends make an effort, then, but we all make an effort. We all try to see each other and we love when we see each other. And it could 5 years could go by where we hadn't seen each other, but we're still like texting here and there. Mm-hmm. And it feels like I just saw them yesterday.
Yeah. That's like, I feel like I have a similar thing with my like abroad friends or even my camp friends, like people that you just like have that bond with, but you like don't need to see them every single day. But when you see them, things just like snap right back to like how they used to be. And it's just comfortable. Yeah. Like very much feels. And that's how I am with my high school friends too, with like Amanda and Erica. Like it's very much like we're sisters at this point.
Right.
And it's
something
like
different about a high school friendship than, and I love my friends and I'm so close with my friends now. I love them just as much, but something just hits different about your high school friends because they actually saw you growing up into an adult.
Yeah.
So something is just so different about it.
It is so true. Like your high school friends have seen you in like your most vulnerable states. Also, like most of your high school friends have like seen you like in middle school and like really growing up since you were young. So and then they see you like when you had sex for the first time, like all those like, and I don't know, all those like really formative moments.
We learned everything together.
Yeah,
we were experiencing everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why something is so different about those old friendships.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like even with some of my high school friends, like, and this is kind of like getting into the topic that we wanted to talk about today, just about how like sometimes old friends slip away, but you can always rekindle and like come back and it always feels natural. Like I feel like that's happened a lot with my high school friends, especially even ones that I wasn't as close with, but just people that were friends. Like you go off to college and then like years later you like run into each other and you're like, oh my God, like why haven't we talked in so long? Like we have to hang out and like catch up. Like it's nice that like, I guess you can always come back and like have those same kind of like bonds there. Like it never really, you can like pick right back up where you left off.
Yeah. I feel like if you have that connection with somebody, certain people you meet and you just feel so connected to them, you never lose it. doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
Even, it wasn't this summer, it was last summer. I bumped into a very old friend. She was like my best friend in 7th grade and 8th grade. I ended up going to a different school, but we kept in touch as long as we could. And we just had this instant connection. And I bumped into her husband at CVS Pharmacy, and he told me where him and his wife were staying. She ended up walking down the beach and coming to say hi to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I instantly, and I know she felt it too, because she said to me, "Oh my God, if you lived near me, we'd be together all the time."
Yeah.
I felt like that instant connection, just like I felt many years ago when I was, I don't know, 12, 13 years old when I met her. I was probably 13. It's the craziest thing. And now I'm going home from our reunion, and I reached out to her. She lives where I grew up. She still lives there. I reached out to her and said, maybe, well, let's try to get together. So
yeah, this is like kind of sad, but this is sad. But it reminds me of like my friend, like I had a friend, if people don't know, I feel like we probably talked about this in the podcast, but I had a friend that passed away, from cancer last year. And like, she was that friend that like, we were sisters, like, years later, like we would pick right back up where we left off. And it was like, it really reminds me how you describe that with your like friend that you like picked back up. Like that was me and her. Like we could literally like not see each other. And like we didn't see each other in years. And then like she got sick, and I would just talk to her, and it would be like, I love you. I love your family. Like you'll always be special to me. Like just always like, and not trying to make it like a sad like thing about me, but it really does remind me of that. I felt like I kind of had a guilt for a long time of feeling like bad for myself for like feeling sad about it. Like I was like, I shouldn't feel guilty. Other people should be way more sad than me. And I felt like guilty for like feeling sad. Does that make sense? Because I hadn't seen her in so many years, but it was that type of thing where like we were bonded for life. Like we just would always pick back up where we left off. And so I always still feel connected to her, and like I can still connect to her. Like even if she's not here, like
you always will.
Yeah.
You're never going to forget.
Yeah.
You never forget.
Well, I think about her every single day, and I like talk to her sometimes, and I'm like, and again, like sometimes I literally like told my like therapist or like my psychiatrist, I forgot who I was talking about with this, but I was like, I feel so like guilty and like weird for like feeling like sad about it or feeling bad because I didn't see her in so long. Like it was like, do you know what I mean? Like I was like,
I know what you're saying.
I was like, you're sad, like her family is sad, like her people that were like with her in that moment are fucking sad, like you don't really have a right to, and then but it's like but I can't help that that's how I feel. It was like this person that you were best friends with in the most formative years of your life, and like you grew up together and spent so much time with each other's families and stuff. Like I'm like, that's got to be valid to feel like
of course
that connect, like I always will feel, I think, connected to her in that way.
Right. You'll always remember her. You'll always feel connected to her. There will always be things that will remind you of her.
Yeah. And it was a very, again, like just like with Amanda and Erica, like it was sisterly. And even like I was close with her, like even before I met Erica Colton, like she was like my best friend. And so like, since like we were 5, so there was that very like, we had that like base of like childhood together.
Yeah.
And then we grew up together, literally, like even in high school and with prom, like I was still close with her. Like we could not see each other or not hang out and then just get back together and be sisters. And like, that's what, if I saw her yesterday, it would be the same exact thing. Like we would have just picked up where we left off. Anyway, sorry, don't know why I went into that rant. But it's just reminding me like of like, old friends, and some people there just, you have that special bond with.
Right. And it's important to try to keep up with those friendships. Don't just let those old friends go because you met new friends.
Yeah. No, it was
the ones that are really special.
Yeah, that was a big lesson I learned. I don't want to say like I have regrets in life, but like one thing that I wish I did differently was like hung out with her and spent more time with her, because now she's not here and I can't. Why is this getting emotional as fuck?
I know.
I'm like, why am I going to start crying? No. But it is like, it's like, I wish I had really spent more time with her. I think about her every day. And, so it's very important to treasure the people like that you have while you have them, and especially friends that feel like family. So yeah, that's something super important to me. And I think it's even made me this year more conscious of who I choose to spend my time with, and like spending time with people that are like truly there for me and have my best interests at heart and like get me as a human being and as a person.
Right, right. I agree with that. There's always people that come into your life that maybe bring in negativity and don't make you feel good or say
Mm-hmm.
things to you that aren't maybe nice and aren't building you up.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just have to let those friends go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's been a big thing I feel like with me and you, like a big conversation and a point of like advice that you've been giving me a lot lately
Mm-hmm.
is about like my old friends and about because I entered into this whole like influencer world and
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard when there's like this new shiny thing and you like want to make all these new friends and you're like going to all these new places and you feel like it's really cool and really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But then you
And
feel like
it's my thing.
you can say you're saying.
Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. And it's
She literally,
so
I was venting to
true.
her and she fucking texted that to me.
I love this. I did. But it's so true.
You texted the word gold in all caps.
Doesn't everybody know that? It's a little
Yeah, for
song.
sure.
I
But yeah, that was
it's so true.
that was a big point of advice for me was like, how do I, because I felt like I didn't feel good. Something in me just didn't feel good or right. Like hanging out with all these new people was great, but something in me was like, I don't feel good. And it was like,
yeah. You weren't with the old friends anymore enough. You were
yeah,
missing them. You knew
yeah,
something was wrong. You were missing those true friendships.
yeah. And it's just, there's a difference. And like, there's a part of the influencer friendships where like they understand me in a way that my non-influencer friends cannot understand. Like they understand like the having a platform and that stuff, but it's like my friends that are non-influencers and that have known me since high school, college, middle school, camp, whatever, like they get me on like a different level. Like they know the most truest form of Carly. Like they know the OG,
Right.
like it's different. Like it's just different. And it's like
they totally get your personality.
And it's like they were friends with me before I like had any type, not that my following is like, oh my God, you're so famous, whatever. But they were friends with me before I had any of that type of following or like
Right.
I was known.
Right.
So it's like
they loved you for you.
Yeah, like at my truest form. And that's like, yeah. So yeah, I think that's like something that I was struggling with lately and just like you reminding me to like just take care of those like old friendships that have like been there forever.
It's
has been like helpful and like something like I feel like I've been prioritizing. Do you not agree?
Yes. No, you definitely have. You've been hanging out with them more.
Yeah.
Nothing feels so good to me and uplifting and exciting as seeing my old friends. Like I'm so excited to see them this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, so excited.
And it's like
it just feels so good.
Something I really realized too is like paying attention to how you feel around the people that you're with. So when I'm around certain people, my energy feels drained and I need to take a break from them. And then when I'm around like Amanda and Erica, for example, I actually have more energy after. Like I always leave them and we always text each other just feeling like, I love you so much. Like I'm so grateful for you. Like that's truly like every single time we hang out. And like we've been best friends since we were 5. And like we always leave our hangouts being like, we are just so lucky for like what we have. And that's a telltale sign. Like people that just like support you and uplift you no matter what and like will always make you feel better and make you feel happy and not like your energy is depleted.
Right. No negative energy.
Yeah. And like I assume like with your high school friends.
I love them. We see each other. We tell each other how great we look and we are excited to hear about each other's lives.
Yeah.
You know, we're excited for each other when great things happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I can't even explain the feeling I feel when I'm with them. It's almost like I'm home.
That's that's another thing too. It's like celebrating each other's victories is such an important thing. Mm-hmm. And that's hard to come by, I feel like, finding friends that are non-jealous, non-judgmental.
Right.
That's like, I feel like that's really hard to come by. So the fact that you can say about your home friends that they're like not like they're happy for you and you guys all support each other, you know, that's a very good thing. do you ever feel like sad when you see them? Like, does it ever make you sad?
Yeah, the only thing that makes me sad is when I have to leave them, or like wishing I could live closer to, like, especially my friend Esther.
That's
like I've always had this fun. She's so fun and she's outgoing, and like I don't know, this connection I have with her and my other friends. Like I just wish I lived near them.
Yeah,
and I could see them more.
That's kind of like what I meant. Like, you know, when you see people and you like don't see them in a long time, and then you're like happy, but it's like bittersweet. You get like sad because you're like, I wish I like saw you more and this could happen more, but it like can't.
Yes. Now I have one of my close friends doesn't live so far. So, but she's busy. She's a doctor and she has a different life than I have. Like she's a very busy person. And, but we try to see each other and we talk all the time.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel like I see her more, and she'll be home this weekend. And her mom lives in the court, like right by my parents. Like, we can walk to each other.
And we always see her mom and say hi when we're over.
So her mom will drive by, and if her mom sees my car in the driveway visiting my parents, she'll knock on the door and come say hi. I love her.
Immediately knocks on the door and comes over.
She's awesome. I love her. And we both have our December birthdays, so we're connected with our birthdays.
Yes. We love the December birthday. Sagittarius, Sag women are just like my favorite people ever.
Oh yeah, we're the best. And my best friend, Jen, the doctor, her daughter my daughter, Chloe, has the same birthday as my friend Jen. They were born June 26th.
Different years though, right?
Well, Jen was born on June 26th and she's 50 some years old.
You said her daughter.
I meant I don't know why I just said that.
Oh, you're saying your friend and Chloe.
I meant to say my friend and my best friend, who is my age, and Chloe have the same birthday.
Yes.
Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
I think
there's always weird coincidences with birthdays.
So that's that's this weird connection.
Also your grandma, you, Amanda's sister, Erica Leftline, my friend that passed, all have December 19, 2021. I just said your grandma.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And
all share birthdays.
All Sag, like crazy connections of like
all around the same days, like all around
19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
Literally.
So crazy.
Like it's so weird. I feel like there's always weird connections with so weird. I've been noticing, this is like really off track, but I've been noticing lately that my birthday, May 27th, all of a sudden I see May 27 everywhere. Like I was, and this is
your birthday.
Bad connection, but I was watching the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary last night.
Oh my God.
And he committed he got arrested on May 27th. And I was like, what?
Nothing to do with you.
I was like, but like, do you know, like, it makes me think though, Gemini men, I don't know, this doesn't have to do with that, but Gemini men are the worst, but Gemini women are the best.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't know.
It's just true. Really? Everyone can agree.
Daddy? Is he Cancer?
No, Chloe's Cancer. Daddy's a Leo, isn't he?
Daddy, I forget what he is.
Is he a Leo?
He's either a Leo or Cancer.
He's not a Cancer. Chloe's a Cancer. Mom,
He's
Chloe,
April.
your daughter Chloe, June 26th is a Cancer. Daddy was born on April 1st. He's not a Cancer.
Right. I forget what he is.
I think he's a Leo or a Virgo. Wait.
Yeah.
Should I look it up?
Yeah, look it up. I'm dying to know.
We're so bad with zodiac stuff. Like,
yeah, no, I'm not. I was never real. Well, I mean, I liked.
Oh, he's an Aries. I was wrong. He's an Aries. Yeah.
Oh, he's an Aries. Look, out of all the signs, he's an Aries.
Wait, this is so funny. It's literally says an Aries born on April 1 is anything but a fool. Despite their connection to this questionable holiday, their quiet nature masks an ability to make the best of any situation. Although frequently centered on their own concerns, in the way most Aries natives are, they rarely ignore an opportunity to help or inspire others.
Okay, he always is concerned about himself. Larry, we used to joke, Larry's in his Larry world.
Yeah, it's Larry's world and everyone's living in it.
It's Larry's world and we're all.
But he's very selfless when it comes to his family and that stuff. Like,
no,
he always says, he always has to make a point to be like, I live for this family. Like, I do everything for you. Like, everything I do is for this family.
Right. That's why I was put on this earth.
I was put on
to
this
take
earth
care of my family.
to serve my family.
To serve my family.
I'm like, does anyone else's dads talk like this? Like, women, we just do. We don't talk about it. We just do. We do what we're supposed to do. We do take care of other people. All you've ever done is birth 2 children and take care of 2 children for your entire life. And you've never once been like,
took care of the 2 of you, and then I took care of Daddy while he was working all those years.
And you've never once said, I was born to care for my family. You just do it in silence.
I would never think about it. That's my passion. That's what I like to do. I like to care for people.
All women, we don't talk about it. We just do.
Right.
Men have to be like,
you're right.
I'm so overwhelmed. This is what I'm doing right now.
Well, like, even when they're sick, like they're like dying. Everything. Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Me and Rachel
we're out there like working jobs and food shopping with all our illnesses and everything. We just go about our life. Don't talk about it.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was talking to Rachel about this because Rachel's she's in like software, but she works with like a lot of bankers. Because that's who they sell the software to. And these bankers, like, and the people she works with, like the men literally are constantly like, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I have so much work to do. And Rachel's like, I'm doing all the same work as you. I just am not chaotic about it. Like,
that's so funny.
Or like guys,
so like that.
Like they exude like chaos. Like they're like,
yes,
oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed today. Like I have to answer 50 emails, and we're like, we're doing the same thing. We're just not talking about it.
Who exudes the most chaos? Daddy. Everything's so chaotic. Chaos. Like, well, he acts like it is. Like, we could be so chill about something, and then he's acting like something so chaotic, and we're like, wait, we're just hanging out chilling. Like, I don't know what is.
Like, he's like, we need to leave the house at 8:30. Wheels up at 8:30.
I'm like, Dad, stop for a coffee.
What would happen if we left at 8:40?
Or what would happen? But that's what I said when we went to go visit Chloe, and he had to be out at a certain time. And he was like getting all freaked out. Like, we had to get there exactly by a certain time. And I'm like, wait, we have no meeting. We have no lunch plan.
No plan.
No plan to even get to her dorm. She was sleeping.
She was literally sleeping when we got there.
So what was the rush? I don't even understand. And then I had to say that to him. What is the rush?
And he couldn't even come up with because it's like you realize that they don't even have a excuse. They just like are so set in their brain that they're like,
but then I think he thought about it. He thought about it, and he was,
and then he's like,
"Yeah, that's
you're
true.
right.
I'm just gonna drink my Dunkin' Donut coffee after we stopped at Dunkin' and got him a coffee."
And God forbid, I wanted to stop at Starbucks. We literally pulled into the Starbucks lot by accident, and I was like, "All right, well, since we're in the lot, can I just go run in, take 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes to get my coffee?" He's like, "No."
He did not want you going.
Why? I was like, "Okay, peace out. I'm going."
Because it was going to be late for whatever it was. What? I don't even know. There was nothing. It was going to be late for like literally zero.
Simply cannot.
Nothing.
I can't.
Although you and I kind of, we had plenty of time, but we wanted to get there to see Chloe. She's part of this University Girl magazine at Syracuse. And we wanted to be part of, she was doing like a modeling session for them, for the photo shoot for the magazine. It was really fun.
It was so cute.
But still, we had plenty of time to get to that.
It was like at 3:00. Like, it was so much later. And it was like, we got there at like 11 a.m. Like,
we had like nothing to do.
She was like rolling up from her boyfriend's, like, whatever, like frat.
She was in her dorm. Oh yeah, we went to her dorm. We went inside her dorm to go see her, and she had to meet us in the front. They wouldn't let us in. And then I was like, she wasn't coming out. So I went around the building with Carly, and we're banging on her window and we're screaming her name and trying to get her up. And then she finally texts, "Oh, I'm walking down to my dorm now." She was at her boyfriend's.
She was literally not even home, and we were banging on her door. So it was like, why, Larry? Why did you get so butthurt about this?
She's going to kill us for talking about her. We love our little Clo.
No, I mean, we're not saying anything bad about her, just Larry.
No, she's, yeah. Well, the two of them have,
The two of them are peas in a pod.
Well, Carly and I are peas in the pod, and they're peas in a pod. So it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody has a parent, I think, that they're more similar to.
I think. I would like to, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe some people are really even split. I'm like a clone of you. So it's
Yeah, no, we're a clone of each other, and Chloe's a clone of Larry. So I think it would be interesting to be an even split. But
it would be
I mean, even
interesting.
I'm more similar to my father personality wise, but I've tried to get rid of all the things that I didn't want to be like
Right.
him. I've worked on over the years, and I don't think the negative parts I've gotten.
I'm like, what even
My
are you
dad is
talking
the
about?
most awesome. Well, like, okay, all Jews, we all complain, right? Don't we? Don't all
Oh,
Jews
okay.
have like no for complaining? Like my father is like, I love my dad so much. He's going to kill me for talking about him, but he's like the Jewish complainer.
Yeah.
So, but my
All Jewish
mom,
grandparents complain.
they do, but my mom doesn't. My mom doesn't complain. She's very
No.
quiet, and I had
She'll be
that.
in pain in silence.
Yeah, and she
She'll
doesn't
be
say
like,
anything. And my
no.
sister's more like that. Like they're just like quiet with that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I was more like outspoken, and I would say, "I'm just telling you how I feel," but it came out as a complaint. As a
Yeah.
complaint. Do you remember I used to do that? And
Well,
I realized how
I feel like
horrible it
since you went
sounds.
on anxiety medicine, that like stopped. But maybe
Yeah,
it was
I stopped.
it was
Yeah,
self
maybe it's
growth.
that. But I also learned like I didn't like it would drive me crazy listening to somebody complain all the time. Like I couldn't take it, and I'm like, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to hold it in.
It's so
I even
true.
held
Like,
in my food poisoning situation.
no,
I held
I
it
feel
in
like
at dinner. I didn't
TBH.
say anything.
I think a lot of it was like anxiety stuff, but too, like when you just notice those things about yourself, you're able to like overcome them more. And I feel like you've become such a better version of yourself because you like noticed it and you like didn't like it, and then you like made a change about it.
I made a
Because like
big change.
I used to fucking hate your complaining. Like I would not be able
I
to
know
physically
it's
deal.
annoying. I can't
I don't
imagine
think
even if I
I
meet
don't think we would be as close if you complained that
right.
much.
If I meet somebody now, like another woman, and we're like hanging out and talking or going to lunch, and if everything goes in the negative complaint direction,
Mm,
I feel like, oh my God, I don't know if I can go out with them again because
yeah.
it makes me crazy. So if the fact that if but the thing is, you know what? I never complained to my friends ever.
No, you never come. It was the people you felt. It was your
It was
comfort people
mostly
that you would
because I
complain.
wasn't, yeah, I was having anxiety. I wasn't feeling good and I could not hold it in. Like, I
No,
guess I was
because
just
you literally
stupid.
felt like something bad, like
I,
something was
I felt
wrong.
like
Like,
something bad was happening to me every day of every 5 minutes. And I needed somebody to validate. Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I just needed to talk about it. And it was
No,
a complaint.
but it was It was definitely anxiety related, and
Right.
once
So
you
now
weren't
I could be
having it,
dying and I say nothing.
yes, but
Like,
the reality is, you're not dying, and if
right.
you are, like
Exactly.
with the food poisoning situation, it was like, yeah, you went to the hospital.
I was really quiet though. And yeah, I was quiet. I just couldn't stand up, but I was quiet.
Well, I checked on you a lot.
I went to dinner like that. Come on.
That's true,
With a fever.
but that was like it was developing. Like it wasn't
Yeah, it
like
was developing. Anyway, yeah, that was just a funny moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
we have a ton of questions from the audience.
yeah.
So I wanted to take like 10 to 20 minutes to
Okay.
answer all of these because they are for both of us. Okay. Number one question. First year of college being hard. Can you talk about like how to make it easier, how to get through that? I mean, you just had a freshman last year, so I feel like you would have a good say
Yeah,
about
I
this.
did. And so this is more for like go like leaving, going to school and making friends.
That first year
Yeah.
of college, just the
Yeah.
transition, the making friends, everything.
Right. It is hard. And I have other friends that I've talked to, and I'm on the Syracuse Facebook page. And I remember going on that a lot last year when I dropped Chloe, because Chloe, hopefully she'll be okay with this, but she had some trouble at the beginning. I actually went there at one, we dropped her, and like a week later I went there to go see her because she was having a little transition problem. So it's really good to have somebody to talk to. You need to tell your parents how you feel, or a sibling, or even an old high school friend. Just find somebody that you can talk to and tell them how you're feeling. Because when I got there and I calmed her down, I knew she needed to see me. And we just talked it all through. We spent the day talking it through. And she was great. Like literally, she gave it another shot and she did really well. And she loves school and she's so happy. It is definitely not for everybody, but for some people starting a new school, it's not easy, especially if you're shy. So it can be hard making friends, but you have to get involved, go to groups, and you have to like maybe be a little bit out of your comfort zone with asking other people to get together. You can't always wait for people to come to you.
Yeah,
You know, I had
especially
to
when you're
push
starting
Chloe
college.
a little bit out of her comfort zone. So, you know, so it's really important that you just keep going. Like don't give up, and don't think whatever's happening in that moment that
Mhm.
seems like it's the worst time for you. Things always change. They change daily.
Yeah,
So
especially your freshman year of college. Like I literally would have different friends like every month. Like I would have different
right. I
groups
remember that.
until finally you find that solid group, maybe like sophomore year, or some people find it freshman year and that's it. But
Right.
it's like things are constantly changing. So you can't
Right.
think that like whatever position you're in when you first get to school is like where it's going to stay at. Like it
Right.
always
Right.
changes. And the getting involved thing is so true. Like aside from like, even if you don't want to join a sorority, if you're like not at that kind of school, like you still need to join clubs and like do things you're passionate about.
Exactly.
Like Chloe's like in the University Girl magazine, like
Right.
she's made
And she
friends
met all
through
these
that.
new girls.
Yeah, and she's made friends through her major and people she has class with.
Yes.
So it's like actually
Exactly.
genuinely like I know it sounds so like ew, that's weird, but like I made friends with people in my classes my like freshman and sophomore year, and one of them ended up being my little in my sorority because we clicked so
Right.
much. So
Right.
like you
Right.
never know like who you're going to meet in a class that you click with and become really close friends with.
Right, exactly. I don't think that's weird at all. I think
Yeah.
it's important. If you're sitting next to somebody and you've stuff in common, or you want to study together after class, that's great.
Yeah.
There's another friend that you just
Right.
made. And they
And
have
I
friends,
have
and then you meet their friends. So,
exactly. And I have friends in college that literally made some of their closest friends like from their classes, which again, I felt like in like for me going to college, I was like, I'm not going to make friends in class. Like I'm too cool, like whatever. And then it's like, no, actually they're like really good people that you can find in your classes that have the same interests as you because they're in your major. And maybe you have like random things in common. Like maybe you know someone from their town, or maybe you live in the same dorm and you didn't know it. Like there could be so many overlaps. So definitely give people a chance in class and be friendly.
yes, be open. Don't be closed-minded about, I just want to meet a certain type of friend. They
Yeah.
don't need to be exactly like you.
Yeah. That's the
Like
thing.
opposites attract.
Yes.
So
That's
just
such a good point.
yeah, just be very open to people. I think people like that always end up meeting friends, because you're not just like constantly searching for that same exact person.
That's what I did for a long time. And honestly, not a good decision. Like you don't need to, it's really such a good point. Like you don't need to find a clone of you. That's not what makes the world go round. You just want people, and my therapist always talked about this, people with similar values and like-minded people. People that, you know,
people.
like
Yes.
we're raised right, are good people, want to like give back, like to go out and have fun, but also love staying in and hanging out and watching movies and talking about life. Like you want those people that have those, that just like-minded. That's super important. So yeah, hopefully that was a good advice sesh on college. I feel like I'm more into my boyfriend that he is into me, and it's stressing me out. It's giving like,
okay, it's giving me a little bit of a red flag.
It's giving me a little bit of a red flag because I feel like it should be
honest.
even.
And it should be even. And I think it's time to have a talk. And if you're feeling like that, communication is everything. You can't have a relationship without communication. So don't hold in your feelings, and you need to be willing to hear his side, whatever he's got to say. You have to be open to it, and you need to talk. You got to talk it out.
Yeah, I feel like that's not good. And every friend I've had that has been more into the boyfriend, the relationship has not always ended in a good, that's not a good sign to me. So just talk about it. It's not the end of the world, but.
And there might be, there's probably a reason, but you need to know. You deserve that.
Let's see. How to make friends in community college.
Easy. Again, the kids in your class, the kids hang out in your class with you, and you can just, as you're sitting next to somebody, and just start talking to them. And what are they, I don't know, find out other people's interests, find people that you want to study with, you know, that you can hang out with. And you do get breaks during class, even though you're in community college. So there's still times when you're going to go have lunch, and it's always ask somebody to go have lunch with you, even if it's out, even if you have 2 classes and then you're leaving now for your lunch break, you're going to meet somebody that's got to have the same lunch break as you, and go have lunch together, go meet for a coffee.
Idea. Yeah.
Again, you have to be willing to put yourself out there and ask ask people to hang out. And people
Yeah.
are usually very accepting, and they want to make friends too.
And I think with women especially, it's always like you're waiting for the other person to do something and make a
Always.
move. And it's always like, oh, like they're not talking to me. They must not like
Right.
me. But it's always like
Right.
both people
Yeah.
are thinking that. So you just have to be the
Yeah.
bigger person and be the one to be like,
Always.
hi, and just like smile really big and like try to talk to people. Cause at the end of the day, most people are just like shy and have like social anxiety and are just like afraid to say something. And then
Yes.
once you break that ice, then it's like all good and you both can get to know each other.
And yeah, people are afraid of rejection.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid of it, because you have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You literally have nothing to lose.
Yeah, like what's someone gonna say? Like no, like someone's gonna.
If they said no, I can't meet today, but
Right.
you know, hey, I
Let's
could meet you next week. And
Exactly.
if it doesn't go over well, give somebody else a try. But you got to put yourself out there.
Okay, this is switching gears a little bit. I really like this one. I don't know why I like my body better when I was sick, and I hate to say it. I'm struggling with loving my body now, despite that I was sick and underweight before. So I feel that. Like I feel that. I really do get it. And it's very sad when you admit it to yourself. Like I often feel guilty when I'm like, I miss my like ED body. Like I literally say that, like sometimes I feel that. Like it's true. I think every person that's suffered from like disordered eating or an eating disorder or just like weight loss to weight gain has felt that like triggering moment of like looking back or like thinking back to your old self and being like, I miss that body.
Right.
But
there's nothing worse to me than feeling sick. Like feeling sick to me, it is like literally up there, the worst. Can't function, can't walk, can't socialize, nothing. So you have to like think like that. Like being sick is not living. So
and that's the thing that always keeps me going.
Yeah.
Like so I picture my life how it was before, and my body being really skinny was like the only like positive in quotes, because it wasn't even positive, but for me at the time it was positive.
You looked sickly.
I know I did, but it's like to me looking back at that, I still feel like like I miss out, or I even miss like just being thinner and like that just life. Like but then I remember that I'm happier now than I was then. Like I'm in a better place now than I was then. Physically, I'm so strong. I can lift these crazy weights and do these crazy workouts and walk a ton and not get tired. And I have my social battery is so much better than it ever was before. Like I can hang out with people all the time and constantly be moving. And so it's like, I am not willing to give up those things again. At the end of the day, like that's literally what keeps me going. I'm not willing to be sick again and go back to that place. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun.
Exactly.
If it wasn't
sick versus well.
If it wasn't that bad, sure, I would go back to it. But it was horrid. Like it was a horrid time in my life. No, but I'm saying it would be easier. I'm not saying I would go back to it, but I'm saying it would be easy. Like, don't get me wrong. I will never go back to that. But I'm saying it would be easier for me to slip back into old ways if it's like I wasn't down so bad. But I was down so bad. Like I was unwell mentally and physically. And so I know realistically, there's just no way in hell I would ever go back there. And that's what keeps me going.
Right. Yeah. They have to think about that all the time. And I'm sure you think about it every day.
Yeah.
It's not something that goes away.
Yeah. And you have good days and bad days, but it's like, it's not about how often the thoughts occur. It's like how you choose to deal with the thoughts and like what you can do after. So it's like those thoughts, like you might not be able to stop them from coming all the time, but you can redirect them and like choose how you're going to move on from that moment.
Right.
Okay, this is a good question that I feel like, Mom, you would be fit to answer. How can I be more confident at bars when it comes to guys? I always get so nervous. And honestly, like I need this advice too.
How can I be more confident at bars? I guess what makes me confident is just hanging out with my girlfriends and laughing and having fun. Like when I'm having a good time, I'm feeling confident. If I'm wearing something that makes me feel good, it makes me feel confident. But I get it, because I definitely was a little shyer when I was younger. I wasn't the one that was like going to go walk up to some random guy and start talking to him. But I just think looking wearing something that makes you feel confident and feel good, and surrounding yourself with people that make you feel confident it makes it easier. It would always made it easier for me to be able to meet somebody. But I
Yeah.
wanted to do it in a group. I didn't want to do it. I'm not going to walk into a bar by myself and
Yeah.
go meet somebody. Or even if
I
I was
think
with another friend, that made me feel good.
Yeah. I think something that I struggle with is like I'm very, and I think probably a lot of people can relate to this, but I'm very non-aggressive and I always want like if a guy likes me, he'll come up to me, but that is often like unsuccessful. Like I often am like I don't want to go up to a guy. Like I want them to come up to me and pursue me. And like my friends are, if they see a cute guy or if we're talking a group of girls and a group of guys, I always feel like somehow I end up on the outskirts and my friends end up being like the leaders in the conversation just because they're more aggressive. Like they'll get in there. And I'm just like, I'm not that desperate. Like not saying my friends are desperate, but I'm like, I'm not that like trying to try that hard. Like I want someone
right. You don't have that aggressive personality.
Naturally. I don't have the aggressive personality.
Right, with men. But neither did I. So that's a bad question for me.
No, I know. It's just, I'm just saying like, it is, I understand where this person is coming from because that's me. Like I get that to a T. I am never going to be the most aggressive person in the room. But then I feel like with like daddy, I feel like it was just like, it happened the way it was supposed to happen kind of thing. Like you didn't need to compete with other people for the attention. It was just like that.
Right. But I didn't meet him in a bar either. So,
I always say, so funny. Lately, I keep saying I'm not going to meet my husband in a bar.
I don't think that most people meet their husband in a bar.
I don't think most people meet their husband in a bar.
I think there's a lot of women and men that are intimidated to walk up to people that are in a bar. And maybe my group idea, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's not a great thing because would a guy be more intimidated to walk over to a pretty group of girls, or would a girl? I don't know. Are the girls going to be intimidated to walk over to a group of guys? I would be. That's why I always like to, dress cute, feel good, hang in my little circle. And if somebody wanted to come over to me to talk to me, great. And you notice, I don't know if it's still that way, but if you're with a group of girls and there are some guys hanging out and they want to talk to you, don't they all come over together?
Yeah, it's never just one. It's usually a group, unless it's like one creepy guy that I want to ignore.
Right. But most people don't feel comfortable just coming up and being so aggressive.
No.
I think it's really hard to meet somebody in a bar like that.
I agree.
And now maybe people say I'm wrong, but I just think that I wonder what the percentage of people that actually meet their husband in a bar. You would think it's probably not that great.
I think it's not great. And honestly, I haven't been going out a lot lately and haven't been drinking a lot lately. So I'm like, I got to think of a plan B here. Like I got to think of
plan B is a sports bar. Or my other plan B, C, which actually should be plan A, was pickleball. Because I love pickleball. And there's some cute guys on the pickleball court.
Yeah.
And you just need some of your girlfriends to be right next to these guys on the pickleball court, and you all need to start talking.
I'm like I literally want to do that.
I think that kind of thing makes such an easier conversation. Or if you were at a bar watching a game, because at least you could get in the conversation watching the game.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that's so much easier. Or even at a party where like you have friends in common, because then you're meeting similar people. I feel like it would be easier that way too.
I also like not to be like a pick me and be like, oh my God, like I'm so innocent and whatever. But I just feel like lately, like before when I would go out, I would get drunk. So then when I was drunk, I would just be having like drunk conversations with these boys. But then it was I would never remember the conversations because I was drunk. So now I'm like, how would I ever have connected with someone if I can't even remember the fucking conversation I was having? And then I would just, you can't. So it's like, I realize now that I'm like, anyone that's that drunk in a bar, like, how would you connect?
You're not. I think it's hard.
So, I think it's hard. And when I go on a date, like I'll have like a drink or maybe two over the span of like 2.5 hours. Like,
right. I'm just thinking back, but it was kind of different. Like we used to go to this same beach town every summer. So we did all know people similar, but my sister did meet her husband in a bar in a beach town.
Which is crazy.
So they did as I'm like, who meets their spouse in a bar?
But do you know anyone else that did?
No, not one. Mm-mm.
So it's like probably
No,
one in
either
10.
college or meeting through friends or whatever. No.
I mean, I'm thinking of my friends that are engaged,
You
which is
met at a
only,
bar.
I'm thinking of people
You
I know that are engaged and none of them met at a bar.
Right, exactly. Point
Mic drop.
said. Point said, yes.
Okay, let's take 2 more questions. I feel like a guy I'm talking to is either just being a dumb boy or playing me. Help. Oh, when in doubt, they're always playing you. Guys,
Yeah,
guys are
playing you.
guys are dumb, but when in doubt, they're playing you.
They're always playing you. Yeah.
I genuinely, girls are like, I'm like, get it in your head, please. Like, if a guy wants you, he will make it known that he wants you. The more you beg for them, the more you push them away. The more you want them to talk to you, the more you push them away. You're literally unmanifesting them.
Exactly. I agree. Nothing more said.
Period.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, this is good. Okay. Okay. Dating while being a Jewish girl who only dates Jewish men. Me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then, so if you, and a lot of people want people that are in their same religion, and I understand that.
Yeah.
So then you need to start going on either a Jewish dating app or do Jewish, like through a Jewish organization or something, because now you're narrowing it down to one type of person. And there's a lot of people in this world. So if you're going to narrow it down like that, maybe in temple during the Jewish holidays.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm not Orthodox or anything, so I feel like the people that go to temple or of the Jewish holidays are more religious than me. Like I'm more like a cultural Jew than like a super religious Jew.
We are.
So for me, like I just put like the Jewish filter on my dating apps. Like on Hinge, there's a Jewish filter. So and seriously, the reason why I even want to date Jewish is because there is just an understanding that someone that's not Jewish won't have. And I want to raise my kids Jewish because our religion is very small. So I'm just trying to explain this because people that aren't Jewish might think it's offensive or not be like not understand why
there aren't that many Jewish people in this world.
There's not a lot of Jews. So the reason why Jews marry Jews is because we want to keep our religion. We don't want it to go away. If we keep marrying non-Jews and keep not keeping up with our like religion, then there will be no Judaism anymore. Which is the reason why we choose to marry within our religion often.
Right. But I mean, a lot of people don't stay within the religion and that's fine too. And if you choose to, like, if I married somebody out of my religion, I could choose to raise my kids Jewish and you can mix a faith.
Right.
I get what you're saying, but I mean, I feel for everybody, like,
yes,
it works.
I understand everybody. And at the end of the day, here's the thing though, here's the kicker. At the end of the day, if I met someone that wasn't Jewish, but I had a true connection with them and I fell in love, so be it. I'm still going to raise my kids.
Be careful what you say.
And I raise my kids.
You never know.
No, you seriously, you never know. And I most definitely, because I think people always have questions for me, like, so do you not date anyone not Jewish? And I'm like, if I met someone and there was a connection and I wanted to pursue, I'm not going to not pursue that. Oh, you're not Jewish, can't pursue you. I literally dated a person last year or 2 years ago during the pandemic that was fully not Jewish, like fully Catholic.
Right.
And I wanted to pursue them. But it just didn't work out. But whatever. Bottom line is, you can want something. It doesn't mean that's gonna like exactly happen. But you can like push for something. It doesn't mean it's like guaranteed.
Exactly. If you make an effort and you push for it, and you're only dating that type of person, then you're most likely going to meet that type of person. Right. But again, through a Jewish organization or stuff that more Jewish people would do.
Yeah, I just keep my app filters on. Basically, I only like if I'm setting up a date on a dating app. I only really go on dates with like Jewish people, to be honest, if I'm just being authentic and real here. Unless I like thought someone was like really hot and like whatever, but or I like met someone out and like had a connection with them and they weren't Jewish, that's fine too. But and another thing is like meeting friends of friends. That's like an easy way because of like Jewish geography. Everyone's like 2 degrees of separation.
Yeah, exactly.
So my hope is that I just like meet someone through a friend because then they'll be able to know me in person before they know me on social media. And I don't want someone to know me on social media before they know me in person.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
Right.
Anywho,
So, Carly, maybe you need to start hanging out with the Jewish organization.
Yeah, like literally me. Like I'm a stop by. Like what's the like? I don't know.
I don't know. What's
The
one
Chabad,
for adults?
or is that in college?
We have a Chabad. No, we have a really nice Chabad right around the corner.
All right. Well, maybe I need to go there.
Well,
Okay. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at OK Stop Whining. If you don't follow us, like literally, what are you doing? And give us a 5-star rating and review so that you can keep seeing more of us. We love you so much. Please send in all your questions for the next episode, and we will see you next time.